Albert, thanks very much for having me today here at the Grange Stud, and here beside us is the star of the show, walking the park.
Yeah,
21 years of age, and the results are really showing, aren't they?
We're delighted that he's sort of delivering on the potential that he showed from his first crops in France with Min and Douvan, that he showed that it looks as if he's capable of getting sort of those sort of horses again here out of his Irish mares, and we're really looking forward to it and looking forward to the future, and even like what legacy he'll leave behind him, because he seems to be getting big, strong, athletic horses that, irrespective of their size, they seem to come to hand reasonably early, and when they grow into their frames, I think the potential of some of them would be limitless. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. It's all in the future.
Like you mentioned with Douvan and Min, but the ones now that are there are Facile Vega, John Bon, and last weekend in Fairyhouse we've seen a very impressive bumper winner called Down Memory Lane, bred by Cathal Ennis for Gordon Ellie, who won his point-to-point in impressive fashion at Oma House for the Fogarty's being sold. So it just keeps going, these fine horses and stock of his.
Yeah, you just have to put... I saw the replay of that on Saturday night, because someone had rang me and said, "I just seen it," and it's just like you'd have to put him in. He could be anything bracket, and like listening to the write up in the paper, we probably won't see him again till next autumn, which would be great. But people will wait on good horses as such, and if they're treated like good horses until they show they're not, I think it's always a bonus too.
Absolutely. And last week, of course, then at Cheltenham Sale, we've seen 5 horses walking the park, selling the ring that are previous point-to-point winners, and selling for over £1 million sterling between the 5 of them.
5 of them, yeah. The demand, and I think even on the strength of that, I think from that sale too was that a lot of the expensive point-to-pointers for the first time in a while, most of them stayed in England as well, which some of the maybe the trainers over there are biting the bullet now and saying, like, if we don't buy these horses, and they let Gordon and Willie or bring them all home, they'll have to be racing against them. So they seem to be after waking up a small bit anyhow.
They haven't, sure. Next door to him, of course, is Getaway.
Yeah.
He needs no introduction. You see him, so many winners, and he's had a few Grade 1 winners as well.
Grade 1 winners, and I think, like, for us at the stud here, he's been very good for our business, and I think everybody that's used him has got a turn out of him, and even for the point-to-point trainers all along, everyone has got a turn out of him, and and for the breeder, he's a good winner getter. Like, some of them might only be to a certain level, but you're fairly sure that you'll get a winner from the mare, which I think is important. And a lot of people say, like, what will most mares do? Only breed a couple of winners anyhow, and it's rarely that you'll get a mare will breed a real good horse. So.
He just does like exactly what you said. Winners,
and he gets a good-looking big horse, and things they're easily sell. And I think basically, like, I think at the sales over all along, fella said from the start, he's been sort of user friendly, like for breeders and everything else as well at the sales.
Capri, beautiful horse.
Yeah, this is his 4th season here now. His first crop are 2-year-olds. He's an Irish Derby winner, and he won a St. Leger. He maybe tailed off a little bit in his last season, but he beat all the good horses, Crystal Ocean and Stradivarius. He was better than them at 3, but maybe his form dwindled a little bit as a 5-year-old. But look, he's been well supported since he came, and he'll
very excited about his young stock.
Yeah, he'll have enough of 2-year-olds on the ground to give him a good chance in 2 years' time when they get to the racing stage as well.
We'll see plenty of them then at the sales next year then as
2-year-olds. We'll look forward to seeing him there then.
This obviously beside us is the star of the show, but maybe the upcoming star of the show is just down below us, is Vadamos.
Yeah, he's another son of Monson, the same as Getaway, but he was a little bit quicker in that he won his Group 1s over a mile. He started off his career above in Tallyho with Tony O'Callaghan, and out of those sort of speedily bred mares up there, he's bred horses that have won over 5 and 6 furlongs, and he's bred 1.5 winners. He also had been to New Zealand in the off season with the arrangement that was there, and he's bred a Group 1 winner out there from his crop, and she was placed actually again last weekend in a Group 1 race, a filly called Let Creek. But we'd be looking forward, like, he's got good winners under one code, and I'd say we're looking forward to the future. I'd say he'll get plenty of winners under the other code as well. His couple of horses that went point to pointing last year as 4-year-olds, both won. There was another horse placed, I think, which went on to America afterwards as well. And the 2 horses that were placed have won on the track this year, and there'll be more jumping bred horses working their way through the whole time.
The future's very bright for
I would think so. And like last year at the foal sales in November, his stock were there and they were on the list as such, in that, you know, the very first morning on the Sunday morning there was a good colt in by a good colt that was well bred, and he was in early the first morning. Norman Williamson bought him, gave a good price for him, and for the rest of the week his stock made good money. While the year before I think people were hanging back a little bit, but I think he was on everybody's shopping list last year. You know?
And he will be again this
year. And
he
will be again for the future, I think, until I think, you know, his trajectory hopefully will be on an upward curve or an upward.
So here at Grange Studs, you're top of the pecking order with this lad beside us walking the park, and a lot of future stars behind.
Yeah, and we've a couple of boxes to fill there, as Milan passed away there before Christmas, but even walking the park is hitting 21, Getaway is 20. To keep the thing rolling, we'll just have to keep bringing in new horses and the whole lot. As I said to somebody earlier this year, 100 years ago Cottage was standing here, who sired College Rake, who won 3 Gold Cups, and he bred another Gold Cup winner and Grand National winners. There's a long legacy of standing jumping stallions here, deep in history, so we want to keep it going for the future, not to let down the past as well.
No, definitely. Albert, thanks very much for having me. It was a pleasure to see all of these horses, and especially walking the park, and no doubt between these we'll see plenty of winners in this lad and Cheltenham.
Yeah, well look, I always think it's to have runners in Cheltenham and fancied runners in Cheltenham, and horses could run awful well in Cheltenham and you could still come home without a winner, but to have horses that are good enough to run there, I think is important, and if there's a winner we'll be jumping up and down a bit.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Albert.
You won't put it as far as now, will you? You will. Good boy.